Okay, hello. So now we'll open up the KP chart. Okay, so for that, just go from here. You see the Lagna chart is present. So from here, you can go to the left side panel, KP system, planets and CUSP. So I'll just click on it, and it will show me a chart. This is the CUSP chart. Okay, so this is the house information. Okay, that is why KP is very precise, right? And it is very easy to understand. You see here, what will happen is we can directly see a single chart, and from that itself we will be getting all the information. But in case of Vedic astrology, what happens is we'll have to go through many divisional charts. For profession, we have a D10 chart. For maybe your D9 chart is there for your marriage related things, like so there are like 16 different divisional charts. Okay, and for precise prediction you have to go through all those charts. But here in KP astrology, what happens is there is a concept of sublord. Okay, I'll talk about the sublord afterwards. But you see, sublord will be enough to say an event will occur or not. So it is very easy to understand. Okay, if you get the intuition and if you understand the formulas, and it is very easy. Okay, believe me, it is very easy, because as I'm saying, I'm a student of science, and I don't believe in the predictions which are given like these, like in the year. I don't believe in those things. Okay, there are many astrologers who do those things, and I'm not doing astrology as a profession. I'm just doing this as a learning process, and I'm inquisitive in learning new things. That's why I'm going deep into it. But the thing is, what you need to understand is, this KP astrology is very scientific, and it is very easy to learn. Okay, so you see, let's get into the chart itself. So you see, in the Rashi chart or the Lagna chart, what you saw, Rashi chart is also called as Lagna chart. Okay, because it talks about in which Rashi a particular planet is deposited in your chart. Here we have CUSP chart, the KP CUSP chart. So CUSP means house. Okay, so this is called basically the house chart. So you see here, what you will see, that Mars is not sitting in the first house. First thing, right? Mars is sitting in the 12th house. Remember that. See, in the brackets they have written the Rashi also here for understanding. Okay, otherwise you will have to look into both the charts, right? Where a particular planet, in which Rashi it is sitting and which house it is sitting. You have to see both charts. Here they have written in the bracket in which Rashi a particular planet is sitting. See, Moon is sitting in the 8th Rashi but in the first house. Okay, Mars is sitting in the 12th house but in the 8th Rashi. So see, it has in the bracket it has given 8, right? And see, Mercury, it is sitting in a 10th house, in the 6th Rashi. Okay, don't get confused. You may be confused that here 6th Rashi is here, and how come Mercury sitting here but still it is sitting in the 6th Rashi, Virgo? How it is possible? At a time, how is it sitting in two different places? No, that is not true. If you see the last video, if you see some calculation I have shown in the videos, so they actually what should I say, they actually span through the houses, right? The Rashi actually span through the houses. So maybe half of the Rashi is in 11th house, and half of the Virgo Rashi is in the 10th house, likewise. Okay, so it doesn't mean that always a Rashi and a house will overlap. Okay, so that's why this difference is happening. See, in case of Moon, it is present both in the first house itself, in the Rashi chart also, in the KP chart also. So it is not mandatory, but it depends where it is spanning, right? So just forget about all those things. Just because this AstroSage has already given us the chart, we need to just look into it, right? So you see here, Jupiter is sitting in the 4th house, but can you see one important thing? Most of the planets here are in the 10th house, and that is very important. Okay, in case of Narendra Modi, what happens is he is very much successful in his career, right? As a politician, he is he's an example. He's having a lot of fame. And 10th house, it talks about so much fame, right? And success, it talks about all those things. His karma, everything is related, so he is more focused in all those things, right? But you see, one more thing is, since Mercury is present in the 10th house and it is in exalted sign, what happens is all the other planets which are present in the 10th house also gets exalted automatically because of Mercury, because of exalted Mercury. Okay, so it kinds of works like this. Okay, so one planet if exalted, it will exalt all the other planets, or it will make all the planets which are in the same sign or house, it will, or which are really close to each other, it will make them very powerful, right? So here you see everything, or most of the planets, the five planets which is the majority, is present in the 10th house, and that's why he is so much successful. Okay, so now we'll go into some depth. Let's check. Okay, sorry. Okay, now let's go into something deep. Okay, let's see some things. Where are the nakshatra lords? Okay, see here. Now this is very crucial. This is the main crux of KP astrology. Okay, see, all the planets are in some Rashi, right? You know that. In some Rashi that we get from the Rashi chart itself. See, like Sun is in the Rashi of Mercury, right? Because if you remember, Sun was in Virgo, isn't it? So Sun in Virgo means, what is the lord of Virgo? It is Mercury. So this is Rashi lord number one. Okay, Moon is in the Rashi of Mars. Likewise, it has written Mars is in the Rashi of Mars. Okay, likewise, this first row is first column is given. So this is a Rashi lord of these particular planets. Next is nakshatra lord. Okay, I'll talk about nakshatra in some classes, some advanced classes, not now. But you don't need to understand what is a nakshatra right now. But in KP astrology, what you need to remember is planets here gives the result of the nakshatra. Okay, planets give the result of nakshatra. Remember that planets work as source. I'll explain this with an example, but now remember the planets actually work as source, and nakshatra actually gives you the result. Nakshatra means star. Okay, the star lord. So every planet is in some nakshatra. Okay, so every planet is in some star, like here in our world. So Earth, Moon, like Venus, Jupiter, all are in the solar system whose star lord is Sun, right? So likewise here, each of these planets belong to or is under some nakshatra lord, some star lord. Here you will see the star lord's name. So Sun is in its own nakshatra. Okay, Sun is in the star of Sun itself. Moon is in the star of Saturn, meaning Moon, the planet Moon for this chart, is present under the nakshatra of Saturn. Okay, inside the nakshatra of Saturn. So whenever Moon tries to give some result, or Moon is present somewhere, so Moon will not give its own result. It will act as a source. Who will produce the result? Saturn will produce the result. Okay, the nakshatra or the star lord will actually produce the result or give the result. Moon, the planet, will actually work as the source. Remember that. Okay, for example, here you see Jupiter. Jupiter's nakshatra lord is Rahu. Okay, so whenever I have Jupiter running, let's say I have a dasha of Jupiter going on. Everyone says, right, I am going through a mahadasha of Jupiter. Now if Jupiter is running through my dasha, so I'll not always get the result of Jupiter, but I will get the result of Rahu definitely. Okay, because in KP astrology, the nakshatra will give the result always. The result of nakshatra will be the first. Okay, will get the priority, and the planet Jupiter will act as a source. Okay, I'll give an example of all this, but right now just understand what these columns are meaning. Okay, so it will be better for me to go forward. Now next, third column is talking about sublord. Okay, so every planet will also have something called as a sublord, which is the most important thing when it comes to KP astrology. Because what is sublord? Sublord will finally say whether an event will happen or not. Let's take an example. Okay, I'll not take an example now. In the next video I'll talk about the example, but right now just understand that in KP astrology, the planet itself will act as a source for an event. The nakshatra will actually give the result, and the sublord will say whether that event will be fruitful or not, whether it will be allowed or not, it will be allowed or denied. That will be finally said by the sublord. So the sublord is very important, the most important one. Okay, the result will be defined by the nakshatra lord, the source will be the planet itself, and whether that particular result will be fruitful or not will be decided by the nakshatra sublord. Okay, so see you in the next video. I'll get deeper into it. Thank you.